Hey guys, welcome to the Old Wise Men. Today we're going to be talking about your actions are speaking so loud I can't hear what you're saying. People in church, you know them. You know the people in church. They come on Sunday, they check the box, then they go home. Sunday afternoon, how do they treat their wives? How do they treat their kids? And come Monday, they go to the office, right? You know the guys and the gals. They may be flirting around the water fountain, maybe having an affair. You know exactly. Stealing from work, stealing for work. Time is stealing from work. You're supposed to be at work from 8 to 5 or whatever the time is, and you kind of fudge a little bit. How many of us leave a little bit early? How many of us become jerks to our wives? Look, I was that guy for so many years before I really came to accepting the Lord and actually having a part of my DNA. But we all know those people that their actions are speaking so loud you can't hear what they are saying. So it's just something that we have to think about on a daily basis and a weekly basis. King David, it just comes to mind about King David and Bathsheba. Think about it. 2 Samuel 11, if you don't know the story about King David, you just got to go back and check them out. One of my favorite stories in scriptures. King David was a man after God's own heart. He had an affair with Bathsheba, one of his lieutenant's wives. And his lieutenant came home to be with his wife. And King David sent for his lieutenant to come home to be with his wife so he could cover up the sin of having an affair with Bathsheba. It didn't work because the lieutenant wouldn't be with his wife. So then he sent him to the front lines and he had him killed. And, this was a man after God's own heart. He wrote the majority of the Psalms. The people that he governed knew of his faith, knew that he was a man after God's own heart. His sins, his actions were so loud, right? His people couldn't hear what he was saying. So it's just what are we doing and what are we saying? Are our actions reflecting on what we're saying? When we say things, are we reflecting on what we're saying and then turning it into actions? It needs to be our DNA. So I want to read some scripture to you. I want to read Galatians 6, 7, and 8. Do not be deceived. God is not mocked. For whatever a man sows, that he will also reap. For he who sows to his flesh will of the flesh reap corruption, but he who sows to the Spirit will of the Spirit reap everlasting life. So it's just something that I wanted to share with my grandkids, share with you, that we have to be cautious of what we're saying, and we have to be cautious of our actions and what we're doing. See you next time for the rest of the story.